So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Dalek JD. Thank you for joining me for a video today where we're talking about one of the most crucial new bits of information regarding Treyarch'S zombies that I think we've had in a long time. This is something which is quite simple, but nevertheless it is extremely interesting and finally puts to rest an age-old myth, really, that no one really understood or knew exactly what was going on. So I'm so excited to make this because this might be something which you've had in the back of your mind for quite a while. Definitely something which you don't think about every day. But in terms of the story, we never really got a full explanation on this. And actually, we kind of did. We just never heard it until now. So if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, definitely leave a thumbs up on it as well. And if you want to see more zombie content like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And even more importantly, even if you are subscribed, make sure to turn on that little bell so you're always notified of any uploads I do in the near future. YouTube is a little bit buggy right now, and I don't want you guys to miss out on cool videos like this. Now, within the storyline of zombies, we learned from Black Ops 3 that Dr. Monty has an influence and effect on creating pretty much everything that we're used to as staple things within Call of Duty Zombies. Stuff like the perks, the chalk drawings for the weapons on the walls, the mystery box, as well as the Pack-a-Punch machine. But we've always been led to believe that Group 935 created all of these things, specifically the Pack-a-Punch machine, the perks, and that's true to a certain extent. Definitely with the perks, Monty created them, but he more so influenced Group 935 to create them with ideas that he's pushing really for them to create. And specifically with the Pack-a-Punch machine itself, June 28, 1942, Group 935 continues development of a weapons upgrade machine. So we've always been sort of with the idea that it was Group 935 which created the Pack-a-Punch machine. Now, it wasn't until Black Ops 3's The Giant where we started to have sort of different contorted ideas, as whilst Pack-a-Punching, the characters have some very interesting quotes, and I'll play you one now which I'm sure you guys will remember from Richtofen.
This machine was built by a good man, a blacksmith in the Old West. I hope I can one day thank him.
So that was the first time we've heard, really, that the Pack-a-Punch machine was not created by Group 935, but instead created by someone completely different. And what really blows my mind is we didn't get this quote about a guy in the Old West creating the Pack-a-Punch machine until Black Ops 3, but the jingle for Pack-a-Punch was obviously created during World at War. So this story element has always been there. It's just not been told properly until we got into Black Ops 3. You're probably wondering, how do we know this for sure? And it's only until now that we are able to confirm it thanks to CARBONFIBAH. CARBONFIBAH is someone who used to work at Treyarch during Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, and the other day he was digging through some of his older unlabeled sound files and found the full unreleased version of the Pack-a-Punch jingle. Now, you're probably thinking, I've heard this before, but trust me, you haven't. This is the full thing, and the normal Pack-a-Punch jingle cuts out an entire 2 verses which explain this old Western character, and we'll learn everything about him. So let's take a listen to the song, and then we'll go ahead and talk about things after.
Here, there, seems like everywhere nasty things are happening, and now everyone is scared. Old Jeb Brown, the blacksmith, he saw his mother die. A critter took a bite from her, and now she's in the sky. The angels came down to old Jeb and told him what to do. Build yourself a great machine, its punch will see you through. When you pack a bunch, the whole damn bunch will not last very long. And while you put yourself to work, sing a country western song.
Now, Jeb didn't know much about engineering, so he just put his trust in the angels and set to work. After many days and many nights, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a little help from the angels, of course, he was ready to show his machine to the whole damn town.
Friends, neighbors, ladies, gentlemen, if you're feeling underpowered, I'll help you make amends. Stick your weapon in the slot and let it change your luck. Few things in life are guaranteed, but I promise this won't suck. Punch your fists into the air and raise a rebel yell. There's lots of bad uns out there you need to send to hell. With Pack-a-Punch, I have a hunch your problems will be gone. But if you end up on the ground, sing a country western song. Pack-a-Punch, 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 Pack-a-Punch. Punch your fist listen to the air and raise a rebel yell. There's lots of bad uns out there you need to send to hell. With Pack-a-Punch, I have a hunch your problems will be gone. But if you end up on the ground, sing a country western song.
So there we have it, a very catchy jingle of course, and with that additional 2 verses that we've never heard before, this gives us a brand new bit of intel which is actually catastrophically big in the grand scheme of things. The creator of Pack-a-Punch himself is an old western blacksmith called Jeb Brown. Now if you weren't paying attention at all to the lyrics, it's quite a simple but sad story really. So this is all focused around old Jeb Brown the blacksmith, who saw his mother die as critters took a bite from her and then she died. So we can assume that perhaps zombies killed his mum, and the angels apparently came down to old Jeb and told him that he must build a great machine, basically saying that when you pack a punch, the whole damn bunch of zombies won't last very long. Now he didn't really know much about engineering, so he put his trust in the angels and set to work. After many days and many nights, a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and a little help from the angels of course, he was ready to show his machine to the whole damn town. We can question here in the lyrics, who exactly are the angels that come and talk down to old Jeb the blacksmith? Some people are saying it could be the Shadow Man, but I don't think so. Definitely not if it's talking about angels. It sounds like something incredibly positive, and if we look in the wider spectrum of the storyline, this would make sense for the keepers to be what he assumes to be calling these angels, telling him to create the Pack-a-Punch machine. It's quite obvious that this story was written a long time before Dr. Monty was even a thought in the minds of Treyarch and before Jason Blundell was the head of the story, so it's very hard to place this within the brackets that Jason has created. But it's interesting that in Black Ops 3 Rick Toffin says he wants to thank him sometime, so that's not exactly outlining that there's no way we'd ever see or hear Jeb Brown again mentioned within the story. When you think about it, this wasn't put in the Giant as a quote just for the sake of it. They really went to town and looked back through all of the lore that we've ever had for Call of Duty Zombies from Treyarch and fit this in perfectly with the storyline canon that we've had from that point onwards up till now. And they even went out their way to include Rick Toffin mentioning this on the Giant, like referencing this info to show you that even back then, everything that's happened is still perfectly reasonable and canon within the story, which is so cool. And it's little Easter eggs like this which keep us playing and invested in this, because it's just amazing. The game's been out for over 2 years now, and we've only just discovered the meaning of this. And there's other Pack-a-Punch quotes which still remain a mystery. Dempsey mentioning that he's seen the machine on the moon and in Brazil, and we don't currently have Brazil as a zombies map, so we don't know what Dempsey is speaking about there. But aside from this full jingle, we don't have any other additional backstory about old Jeb the blacksmith. But whenever I hear this song, and specifically mentioning a western town, it just reminds me a lot of Buried. It sounds like something we'd hear in Buried, and it would be an amazing like twist in the story if it turned out that old Jeb originally lived in the mining town of Buried before it got shifted from its time and place in space and added to where it was in Black Ops 2. That would be so cool. And another really awesome piece of information, just to back up really about how important the entire canon is to Treyarch, is that the writer for all of the quotes is a really nice chap called Craig Houston. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be familiar with the name. He's been writing all of the quotes for all of our characters since the very beginning, and also he lends his voice to all of the perk jingles from the original World at War perks as well, and that includes his voice on the Pack-a-Punch jingle. So he basically helped create the story for all of these perk jingles and the Pack-a-Punch jingle. So of course when he's writing quotes for these characters, there's a lot of little bits of backstory here and there which they can throw in to add for good measure, just to see if people really realise what's going on. But if nearly 10 years later we've only just heard the full version of the Pack-a-Punch jingle, that really makes me wonder what else there is that we don't know yet. A lot of people have been wanting to hear the Electric Cherry perk jingle in its full version, because that's still never seen the light of day, and that might hold some interesting storyline things as well. But honestly, it's little stuff like this which honestly makes my day, because it's just so damn cool. It's just the most unlikeliest thing you'd ever think about, and now we have the actual answer. The Pack-a-Punch machine was created by a man called old Jeb Brown the blacksmith in an old western town. If he's still alive in the story at this point is honestly a real mystery, but can we get some Fs to pay respects to old Jeb Brown the blacksmith in the comments section for allowing us to beef up our weapons and to live for a lot longer within the zombie onslaught. Without him, we would be literally dead by round 20. But all jokes aside, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smack a like rating on it. I'm going to leave you guys again to listen to the perk jingle in full with lyrics up on screen, but again, make sure you go down in the description when you're done with this video and make sure to thank CARBONFIBAH. And if you missed my video last night looking at the new World War II Zombies DLC 1 trailer, it's its own full trailer. We do a really nice thorough breakdown, then be sure to check that out on screen with the little eye, and it will pop up in the last 20 seconds of this video as well. Sub boxes were a little bit ropey, so you might not have seen it, but thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on another video very, very soon.
Like everywhere, nasty things are happening, and now everyone is scared. Old Jeb Brown the blacksmith, he saw his mother die. A critter took a bite from her, and now she's in the sky. The angels came down to old Jeb and told him what to do. Build yourself a great machine, its punch will see you through. When you pack a bunch, the whole damn bunch will not last very long. And while you put yourself to work, sing a country western song.
Now, Jeb didn't know much about engineering, so he just put his trust in the angels and set to work. After many days and many nights, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a little help from the angels, of course, he was ready to show his machine to the whole damn town.
Friends, neighbors, ladies, gentlemen, if you're feeling underpowered, I'll help you make amends. Stick your weapon in the slot and let it change your luck. Few things in life are guaranteed, but I promise this won't suck. Punch your fists into the air and raise a rebel yell. There's lots of bad uns out there you need to send to hell. With Pack-a-Punch, I have a hunch your problems will be gone. But if you end up on the ground, sing a country western song. Pack-a-Punch, 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 Pack-a-Punch. Punch your fist into the air and raise a rebel yell. There's lots of bad uns out there you need to send to hell. With Pack-a-Punch, I have a hunch your problems will be gone. But if you end up on the ground, sing a country western song. Wow!